executive, who created Murder Inc. Records died at 54. Rest in peace to him. Celebration to his accomplishments and all the music he was a part of. Early 2000s with Murder Inc. Obviously one of the most iconic runs when you talk about the Ja Rule and Ashanti and all those songs, his songs with Jay-Z and all those songs. So shout out to him. Rest in peace. Condolences to his family. And yeah, he was one of the things that's unfortunate with him is him and obviously two others were people that could have drastically changed the music industry in the early 2000s. Things could look totally different and probably for the better if him and if he was able to succeed what he wanted to do, which is start his own label, separate from Def Jam and such. But obviously things didn't work out. He got hit with the feds on him and all this other stuff, and accounts were frozen, and just so happened there was in the midst of a beef with 50 Cent and all these other people. So could have been even more of a brighter star if things could have went different. And it's funny because now looking back, considering how things are now with the streaming era and how these record labels are playing games, probably would have been a great thing for some of the people that were against him back then. They probably would support what him and the other two were doing now. Definitely would support it now, but rest in peace. All right, and a tag along to this story, unfortunately, is the ever petty 50 Cent. Honorable says Irv was an embarrassment in his last of his days. I guess rip, respect 50 for not shifting his energy. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's unfortunate that a lot of people only know him for the last 2 or 3 years where he was going around saying certain things and the thing with Ashanti and such. He'll be remembered by a lot of people for that type of thing, for being just a messy old nigga. But I would hope that the other things that he was a part of will have some level of remembrance as well. But like you said, 50 Cent definitely kept it, didn't change. I felt like 50, we're going to get to that later. I think I'm done calling 50 Cent petty. He's not petty. 50 Cent is maliciously vengeful. Like it's not pettiness. It's not something that's little pap. He normally does things that can drastically affect people for even the slightest bit of what he considers disloyalty or coming against him. Now, obviously, 50 Cent and Irv Gotti had a quote-unquote beef for decades now involving not just the music side with Ja Rule and stuff, but obviously the real street side with Supreme and all those other people back in the day in New York. Gotti didn't directly have something to do with it, but he was associated with people who may have allegedly had something to do with 50 getting shot 9 times. So I always say that I don't think it's never a good thing to speak about people, speak ill about the dead. But I also say that I understand when people hold a grudge against somebody who really could have ended their life, honestly. I said the same thing with Gucci and Young Jeezy. When they did that verses, look, man, you put money on my head and could have gotten me killed. I don't even know how they try to turn it into like a semi-friendship on that stage. I would never be in a room with you ever. But, money is money and people want to make it. So 50, I feel like he didn't go as far as he could. It was disrespectful, but he posted a picture of him with a RIP next to him, and he said, "I'm smoking on that Gotti pack. Nah, God bless him. LOL." So he was, in a 50's own way, he was somewhat respectful, but he really wasn't. I've seen a lot of debate on this, whether or not this is, in poor taste or not, and it's 50, so it is what it is. But another story involving 50 is this BMF situation. So recently, Big Meech, who is the infamous drug kingpin from back in the day, leader of the BMF, Black Mafia family group, who went to prison, got released recently. 50, obviously, created a TV show a few years ago based off of his life and his brother, BMF. Sidebar, that show to me, from the first and the last season, has gotten worse. But That's besides the point. 50 obviously saw that Big Meech, now released, took a picture with Rick Ross, who, if you remember his song from back in the day, I think on Big Meech, Larry Hoover, and even before that, Rick Ross already knew Big Meech. 50 didn't like that, decided he's going to go and call Big Meech a snitch, yada, 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 a bunch of street stuff. And 50 Cent then pretty much declared that if the next season's viewership isn't a certain number, they're going to cancel the show. I don't even know. We don't even know now if the show is coming back. I don't really care, honestly. But I see people defending 50 Cent's going at Big Meech because Big Meech, quote unquote, showed disloyalty. And the question got to be, how much loyalty did Big Meech need to give 50 Cent in this situation? People keep saying, oh, 50 Cent took his son and sent him to acting classes to help put some money in his pocket. I was like, oh. 50 Cent sent my son to acting classes because he was investing in someone who was going to benefit him later on. Let's not act like the only person benefiting in 50 Cent doing this TV show is only Big Meech and his family. 50 Cent gained something too. So he didn't invest in somebody and just go on with his life. It was for a reason. So, it is what it is. The street stuff I could care less about. I will say with this situation, Rick Ross going back and forth, and Rick Ross said he wants to start his own TV show. Make a new movie based off of Big Meech and BMF. And then they found out that, 50 Cent owns the rights to Big Meech's story and his name and all the other stuff. I just thought to myself, man, it's never been more true to be careful who you get in bed with. When you get in bed with someone like 50 Cent, you have to understand that person and how their perception, how they view loyalty and such, how everything is on thin ice, how at any moment they can flip on you for anything you do that you may think is inconsequential, and next thing you know, you got someone online just disparaging your name in the top of the year. It's got to be a bad feeling, even if you don't know how far it can go yet. Have someone like 50 Cent in control of your public image and name and able to do whatever they want to do with it in media. Unfortunate story. Also, it was lame of 50. I got to be honest, posting that Little Meech's dudes, posting his message. I thought it was lame, but it is what it is. Condolences to everyone involved, or congratulations. It is what it is. All right. Now we're going to move on to some more celebratory news. I said this story is confusing. Does he need money that bad? The real question. Well, the son said in the text messages to 50 Cent that the reason why his dad is even taking pictures and going on tour with Rick Ross is because he needs money to pay his bills. So I guess that kind of answers. If his son is being truthful in those messages, then yes, he need the money. He was a drug dealer back in the day. He had all this money, but he went to prison and all that money is gone, obviously. And he's trying to get his bag any way he can. I saw the jokes too of people saying that Rick Ross was his PO, considering Rick Ross obviously was exposed by 50 Cent as a CO, correctional officer in the prison. I will say 50 Cent has done everything he can to destroy Rick Ross. 50 Cent recorded this man's baby mama in a sex tape and released it and did a whole commentary over it like a pimp. And it didn't destroy him. If anything, in the beef between Rick Ross and 50 Cent, if you look at history and just how things came out, or when things came about, Rick Ross somehow won the back and forth with 50 Cent. He may be the only person to musically and through social media beat 50 Cent. 50 Cent did everything to crush him, and he was able to make it. Anyway,